A very warm greeting to everyone and welcome back to Cricket Analysis by CNE. This is the preview of the second test match held between India and England, which will be held tomorrow. And joining me are two very fine gentlemen today, Vedant Sharan and Proneet Ghatak. How are you doing, guys? Good evening.
Good evening, Agni. I'm
Good
doing
evening, mate.
great.
Good evening.
What about you?
I'm doing good as well. Proneet, how are you doing? Everything's fine? Sab changa
Good
si?
evening. I am perfect. Everything is fine.
Everything's fine. Okay. We have a lot of things in our segments today. We have a complete package coming in front of you. We are going to talk about what has happened before. We're going to talk about the squads, the squad updates between both sides. We're going to talk about conditions. We're going to talk about our own 11s. And we're going to talk about predictions as well. So a lot of things to talk about today. So without wasting much time, let's get on with it. To start with, if people didn't know already, England have taken opening honors at Headingley and are 1-0 up in the series. And now we play at Edgbaston, where both sides will have different tactics, different styles of play. So we're going to discuss all of that today. Sorry. We'll go to the Indian squad. There's just only one notable absentee, which is Harshit Rana, who has left the squad due to undisclosed reasons. And we're going to talk about the most important topic of the day, Jofra Archer. He's back into the squad and he's not in the playing 11. Vedant, I have a question for you. Why is Jofra Archer in the squad for starters if he's not playing in the 11?
I think it's just the X factor that he brings to the team with his raw pace that he has. And I think England would want to track his progress and keep a lookout for him, which is why they have included him in the squad.
Yeah, and Proneet, I have a question for you. What was the thought process behind England for not choosing Archer immediately in the second game?
I feel it is pretty simple to understand that because Jofra Archer last played a test match for England and also last test match because he did not play county after that even. It was in February 2021. So if you look at that, I think taking him directly into the test squad is something nobody thought of because he had played only one match for Sussex. So, but bringing him into the squad is just because of the X factor, as Vedant said. And also there are other bowlers like Bryden Cars, Josh Tongue. They have been grinding. They have been grinding for past 1 year, 2 years in the test format for England, playing for county, then for England. So I think they deserve a go ahead before of Archer who comes randomly and takes someone's spot. I think that is unfair on the bowlers who are already there in the squad.
Yeah, great point, Proneet. We're going to take a look on the English 11 that has been posted yesterday by the ECB. It's unchanged. They want to go with the winning combination themselves. They don't want to change anything in the bowling lineup at all. And why should they? They have won quite convincingly by 5 wickets in the previous Test match at Headingley. So this is the 11, and let's see how they perform this time round. We're going to talk mostly about India today because their 11 hasn't been posted yet, and the pitch is quite different. So we're going to talk about conditions today and the match that will occur. That is in Edgbaston. It's going to be quite an interesting match because the pitch is two-spaced. I would like to ask Vedant to talk us through how Edgbaston plays usually.
Usually what the pitch has is what I have after doing my research, what I found is that on the first day it will be it will assist the pacers. It will be there will be good bounce and pace for the fast bowlers, and the batters will require some solid technique to get through the first day. On the second and third days, it is expected to play favor the batters with sunlight, although there is forecast of some rain, but sunlight is supposed to aid the batters. And on day 4 and day 5, with the cracks coming up on the pitches due to the wear and tear and the bowlers run follow through, there is expected to be some cracks which might bring the spinners into the game. So overall there is something in it for everybody, for the pacers, for the batsmen, and for the spinners also. So it will be a good and exciting test match to watch. Hopefully rain doesn't play spoil sport.
Yeah, great point, Vedant. It's a very good sporting ground. We have seen some excellent matches. One that reminds me is of the Ashes that happened 2 years ago. The legendary chase that Pat Cummins and Pat Cummins and I forget who was on the non-strike end. There was another batsman. If someone can tell me who that was
I'm myself
in the comments.
out here.
Yeah. Just tell us in the comments who might be the other batsman who played with Pat Cummins and was part of the legendary chase. Another match we can talk about was the 2022 match of Edgbaston, where India lost quite convincingly against England, where Johnny Bairstow completely ripped through the bowling lineup and played wonderfully, had some twin hundreds. So it's lot of things involved here in the wicket, and we're going to talk about the two types of pitches that are involved here. One is of a dry and a flat surface that is going to be playing tomorrow, where for usually, as Vedant said, it's going to seam at start. There's going to be some help for the seamers at starts, as it's an English wicket, so there's going to be some movement for the bowlers, but also there's going to be some spin to be playing, especially if there's some dryness in the current weather. There might be some rain in the coming days, when in day 2 or day 3 there might be some rain. But other than that, it seems like a complete placid wicket where uh, there's going to be some cracks involved. There's going to be some kind of rough. There's going to be some kind of small grass covering as well, some small patches of grass as well, where the seamers will have some kind of wicket as well. So that's the wicket that's going to be played tomorrow. But Edgbaston is also known for having an even grass covering as well, where seaming conditions are completely potent, and especially if there's some overcast weather, the pacers will have a delight and they'll have a lot of purchase of the wicket. Saying that, there's going to be some for the batters as well. It's not going to be impossible for the batters, as Vedant just said. With batters will have to bat well, but if they bat well, they're going to go through. As the first innings total is usually 320 around of sorts, so the first two innings are usually equal because the batting and bowling are even, and that's why it's around 320, 310 that the first inning totals come down to. And also, weather also can play spoiled sport at day 3, day 4, where a complete day could be washed out, but we hope that isn't the case. We want full cricket. And also, one thing we want to talk about is toss. And a lot of things have been talked about during the toss, because Headingley, in the analysis that we have posted in the preview, has had a complete clean record of bowling first teams winning, and that has been the case this time round as well. In here, it's kind of an imbalanced kind of scenario. I would like with Proneet to talk us through this stat and how toss and result are a bit different here in Edgbaston.
Yes, I think Edgbaston and Headingley have this thing in common, that the tosses are not preferring the results. Also, if you see in recent times, there have been tosses won by the captain. He has elected to bat first majorly, and also the chasing team has won. So this has happened a lot in recent times, and also I think it is mostly because of the baseball trend, and also Australia sometimes they have won it chasing as well. So the conditions, as Vedant said previously, that the first few days it goes for the pacers, it later becomes flatter for the batters, and during the end there is some purchase for the spinners as well. So if we look at those conditions, then we see that if a team batting in the fourth innings will face much trouble. But still, we have seen that the bowling first teams have been winning. So this has been a bit of irony, I would say, that the conditions not preferring the batsman, but still the chasing team winning in the fourth innings. And the statistics, I feel it should have been on the other side.
Yeah, and talking about Proneet's point, I feel like I'll put a small correction to Proneet. England haven't been too successful here in the recent past, having won just 3 out of the 5. The two that they have lost were against New Zealand and Australia, where they have been successfully chased down some big totals around 300 or 140 as well. So England have not, it's not a happy hunting ground for England in the recent past, but still they have, it's their home ground and they will know the conditions better. To talk also about the conditions here and how the toss also affects the batting. One key stat here is that, as Vedant mentioned, I'm going to reiterate it again, where day 1 batting is a bit tough, but in day 2 it's easier. That's why the captain should think about bowling first here as well, because if you bowl first, you might get some purchase of the wicket in a fresh pitch, and in day 2 it might get a bit placid, so you can have a good batting surface as well. So it could be consideration to bowl first, but batting first has been chosen because generally when you start an innings, you always bat first. It's a conventional thought to bat first. Bowling first hasn't been chosen a lot by captains, especially in England as well, where batting first has been the recent trend. So let's see if the captains will go for a conventional thought process or will go by the conditions and the history. So that's going to be interesting how the toss plays. But the toss will also be dependent on the weather. So if it's a complete uh, belting day of complete sun and it's completely soaking hot, as it has been in the past few days for England, you would want to bat first because it's completely a batting wicket. You want to score as many runs and then put pressure on the opponent because the lead of the first innings is usually quite definitive of the match. If you talk about the recent past, a lead of the match is usually the result of how the match plays. So if suppose there's a 50 runs lead, the 50 runs play a lot of play a big factor in suppose in the fourth inning stage. So a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to see as we want to cover each and every day and how the wicket is playing and how the players are playing as well. So moving on, we're going to talk about before going to our 11s that Vedant and Proneet have also posted. We're going to talk about Jasprit Bumrah because Jasprit Bumrah has reported that he'll play 3 out of 5 test matches, but which of the 3 tests he'll play, we don't know. So I'll ask both of them, both of my panelists here, will should Bumrah play? Should Bumrah play the second test match? Yes or no? Vedant, you start first.
I mean, I'll go a bit further than yes and no. Ideally, he should, yes, but with workload issues, no. Because now that it is already decided that you are playing 3 games, then I think it will be 1-3-5. So, and 2 and 4 being the rest. So, no.
Okay. Proneet, what do you think? Bumrah is completely available and he said that he's fit. Do you think that Bumrah should
I
play anyway for the
completely
first 3 test
agree.
matches?
Yeah, I completely agree with Vedant that Bumrah should play the first, third, and fifth test match. That is something rare
Okay.
that happens in this channel, but still.
Pranit and I have something in common.
Very rare that and Vedant are agreeing with each other. That's why the panelists, they usually don't. But we are happy that there's some kind of rapport here. But yes, it's quite interesting to see when Bumrah will play because India themselves have not taken the call. They said that they'll take a last minute call on the day itself whether Bumrah should play or not, depending on the weather. So we'll see what they choose, and hopefully it is of the best interest of the team, of course. Now we'll go on to the most interesting segment of the day, where Vedant, Proneet, and I have given our 11s for India. England have already posted the 11, so we're not going to have a talk about what our 11s are going to be for England. But for India, quite interesting 11s I've received. And we're going to talk about the 11s right now. We're going to start with Vedant Sharan, who has changed one person and he has got in Washington Sundar for Shardul Thakur. Talk us through this, Vedant. What's your thought process behind this?
Just a very simple one that Shardul Thakur in the previous match wasn't as effective as a bowler, and now with spin, with there have been reports of dry conditions and spin is expected to play a bigger role. So I wanted 2 spinners in my team, which is why I opted in for Bumrah. Sorry, what am I saying? Washington Sundar, and then I am a Bumrah. I want Bumrah to play so much that while talking about Washington, Sundar Bumrah comes to my mind. And then, of course, I am a huge fan of, means I am a huge believer of continuity and backing the players. So that is why I would have ideally went unchanged with my pacers. But if Bumrah is not available, then Akashdeep. And the rest of
Yeah.
the team is the same.
I have a question for you, especially if the track plays to be a pacey track, and if there's not a lot of spin, and we have seen in the BGT as well in one of the test matches where it was seeming conditions, but India just had 3 bowlers and 2 spinners. It didn't turn out well for India, where Australia scored 350. So, do you want to play with that risk, seeing that it's still English conditions at the end of the day?
No, Edgbaston is expected to stay on the drier side, and Shardul Thakur as a pacer hasn't been that effective anyways. So why not? If it is assisting the spinners more than, and plus what is happening is that Bumrah takes the ball away, Sundar brings the ball in. So that way I have a variation also. So that is also there, both of them.
Yeah. And also, I think what Vedant has done also is strengthening the tail as well. At 6 down, if
Yeah,
Washington Sundar
and
comes in.
of course, I forgot to mention that Washington Sundar is a better batsman, and also he's a left-hander. So maybe the left hand right hand combination can also come into play. So I think that
Yeah,
is right.
we have 5 left-handers in the 8, so there's majority of left-handers playing in the 11 for Vedant Sharan. Three of them are right-handers, while KL Rahul, Shubman Gill, and Karun Nair are right-handers. So there's some kind of they want to do a bit of mix and match. If suppose Sundar wants to come up or Jadeja wants to go down, that's a question that I think India have to answer. But India have also said that they want to play two spinners. So maybe that's also a thought process where Vedant has gone for. That if you're playing two spinners, play Washington Sundar because he's a very capable bat. Well, great 11 Vedant. Proneet, do you have any questions for him or do you agree with him?
No, I don't have any questions for Vedant right now.
Okay, we'll go to Proneet's 11, which is quite interesting in my opinion. I want to see Vedant's reaction as well. Proneet has three changes in his 11 where he has
I have
brought in.
not seen the team. I'm looking at it for the first time.
It's Nitish Kumar Reddy coming in for Karun Nair, Washington Sundar replacing Shardul Thakur, and Arshdeep Singh. He wants to make a debut for Prasidh Krishna. Take us through this 11, Proneet, because it's quite unique. Talk us through this.
Okay. First of all, sometimes I feel that why am I always on the controversial side? But I had some decisions to make. So in this, number one, why I replaced Karun Nair? It was because Karun Nair, if you look at his test career, he has mostly been successful, or rather always been successful, 8 out of 10 times when he's playing in the top order at number 3, number 4. If you look at even recently, if you talk about the warm-up matches, he got 100 at number 3, got a 200 at number 3. So I feel India has decided to go with Sai Sudarshan at number 3, and also it is the start of his career. So I feel backing him at number 3 is important. So that's why I thought bringing out Karun Nair, because he might not be much effective in number 6, even if we saw in the first test match. Second, Washington Sundar, I think Vedant and I both agree. Vedant, I and Agni, both, all of us agree that Washington Sundar is a capable batter, plus also brings in the spin option, and Shardul Thakur was not much effective. So that is pretty much explained. And why Arshdeep Singh in place of Prasidh Krishna? Because Arshdeep Singh gets that perfect swing purchase, and also a perfect swing purchase more than Prasidh Krishna. What he gets, he mostly prefers the stock ball, that is his bouncer, or sometimes a ball that is coming in. Sometimes he does not use that always. And Arshdeep Singh, on the other hand, he brings in that left arm angle. He gets those swing balls, and even without swing, he is very consistent with his lengths. And regarding Bumrah, if Bumrah plays, I have no problem. I really want Bumrah to play. But due to workload management, of course, he should be played in third test and fifth test. If Bumrah plays, no problem. But if Bumrah doesn't play, it is Akashdeep, because Akashdeep is known for his line and length, and his balls for the left-hander that are coming in. So those balls have been really effective. And I would like to end with that. If you look at my 11 before the one I give before the first test, it was pretty much same. Just I have brought Sundar in place of Shardul Thakur from the one which I gave before the first test, because of the spin purchase that is going to be there in Edgbaston, which is different from Headingley. So that is pretty much it for my 11.
Vedant, should you go first or shall I go first?
I mean, needless to say that I disagree completely with Karun Nair not being there. And same with Prasidh Krishna, because I feel it is important to back our players. So that is, I don't agree, but again, okay, it will be interesting to see what it
Yeah.
happens.
My question for Proneet is that you're a big critic of Gautam Gambhir and his method of chopping and changing, but you yourself have chopped and changed three players in after just first match. Talking about how Prasidh Krishna has not bowled well and Shardul Thakur hasn't bowled well, and Shardul Thakur is known for being a bit inconsistent, but he brings out the performance at the end of the day. So why do you feel like chopping and changing is required right now?
Number one, I knew that you would ask this question. So number one, Shardul Thakur replaced by Washington Sundar, it was an expected change because of the conditions. So that is more for the conditions rather than chopping and changing. So you need to make those replacements sometimes. Number
Yeah,
one.
that
And number two,
even I have done that.
That is though is an agreement with
Other
Vedant.
than that,
So
other than that,
yeah. So other than that, Karun Nair and Prasidh Krishna. Karun Nair, I really want the management. I really wanted the management to play Karun Nair at number 3 because of his success at that position at top order at number 3 and 4. He has not been successful at number 6 in the lower order. So if you don't want to play, if the management doesn't want to play him at the top order, so I would say play Nitish Kumar Reddy in the lower order, because he brings that extra seam bowling and also the better batting. So he will bring that in there. He has proved himself in the PGT. He has carried the team there. So that is why I preferred Nitish Kumar Reddy. And if you talk about chopping and changing, this lineup, from the lineup which I wanted in the first test, which I gave in the preview of the first test in our very first video, only one change has been there. That is of Washington Sundar. I think Prasidh Krishna not playing was a decision we all thought that he would not play. Arshdeep Singh
Now
would play
that
ahead
now,
of
but
him.
now
No,
that
but since they
India
have
has
played,
already exactly now that India has already we know that what the first 11 looked like. After that, I chopping and changing is not a good idea, I feel. And Proneet is time and again mentioning Karun Nair has not been successful at number 6. He got a 300 in that position. So that
Yeah,
and
he
plus
got 300 replacing Ajinkya Rahane
yeah, but at
at
that
number 4 or
position,
5.
no, number five or number 6, and also
5.
something around that position.
by the time Karun Nair comes into bat, it is already the 70th over or the 80th over, and the new ball is taken. So he might be coming down lower down the order, but he's essentially facing the new ball only, which we saw during the second innings last time around. So that and NK Reddy, I don't feel is a better batsman as compared to Karun Nair. And the thing is that look, in Test cricket, when you pick a bowler, you have to pick bowlers who will get you wickets, not bowlers who can give you. No, it's not a T20 game that okay, we'll pick him, he'll give us 2 overs. That is not the case because we need wickets here. NK Reddy is not a wicket taker. That is my problem with us, and that way, what we're essentially doing is that we are weakening the batting at which is already quite weak. So that is what I feel with respect to Proneet's 11.
Yeah, Proneet has also involved Ravindra Jadeja at number 8 instead of number 7. He has promoted Washington
No,
Sundar at
that is
Jadeja's
a
No, my,
position.
my
no, no.
batting order, my batting order
Batting
was not
order is
proper.
a
Okay.
batting order can be up and down. That depends on how the players are playing in the
Uh,
next session. I'm not going with
Yeah.
batting order. That is a different thing. But with respect to NK Reddy, I think it weakens the already weakened batting lineup. Lower down the order, not the top order.
Uh, yeah, and especially if you talk about backing players as well, Gautam Gambhir hasn't been done doing that in BGT, and he would want to improve that. But Proneet is encouraging it. Quite interesting to see, and it's a quite a longish batting lineup as well, but a lot of changes coming forward. So I don't know if that'll be well received by the audience if Gautam Gambhir does that, like puts that kind of 11 out. But it's quite interesting to see how he will turn up for the next test. If there are going to be a lot of changes, or if there's going to be no changes at all, that's going to be something we have to see. So this was Proneet's 11, quite interesting to see, quite different. Turn for my 11. I have made no change in the 11. I was quite torn actually because the thing is that I wanted Washington Sundar to play, but Vedant Sharan already posted Washington Sundar, so I didn't want I didn't want the same 11. I wanted a different 11 as well. So I went for an unchanged side
No,
because
even
I feel
actually,
like
Agni, even beforehand, even I didn't want any changes. Say Agni knows that, but it was just because of a tactical call with respect to how the pitch is expected to play. However, if tomorrow there is overcast conditions and there is grass and not much for the spinners, then Shardul Thakur ahead of Washington Sundar. That is just if there is a bit of dryness. We don't know that for now. That is why I have just that is with a
yeah,
call
okay,
depending on the pitch.
hmm, going through my 11, I give Shardul Thakur the nod as well because even though Shardul Thakur and Prasidh Krishna haven't been in their best form, I feel like they should have at least 2 matches, if not 3 matches, to play with. So, and especially they have done majorly, they have done well. India in this side have done well majorly in the match. So, if you want to back them, because you can train and of course improve the mistakes that you did in the first match. So, if you go with a similar 11, I feel like that'll be quite good for India's players, especially the 11 that have been posted here. I'm not going to talk about Jasprit Bumrah, Akashdeep, because we have found agreement there that Akashdeep should be playing because he is in the
If
pecking order.
Bumrah is not available, if he's
If
available,
Bumrah is not there,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I give Akashdeep in the bracket. If Bumrah is not there, then Akashdeep. But supporting Proneet's point here as well, if it's a complete seaming track and if it's swinging all around and it's completely overcast, I may also consider Arshdeep Singh as well because he swings the ball a lot. In comparison to Akashdeep, who is more of a length bowler, which suits more flat tracks, which
No,
suits
why
more
I
flat
meant for
tracks.
Akashdeep is because he was already picked before of Prasidh Krishna. So if you have him ahead of in the pecking order, then give the
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
give them a go than bringing somebody else.
Mhm.
That is.
Yeah, it's the same logic for me as well that I want to have a settled side. I want the side to be settled as well. If there's a forced change, you can't do much about it, of course, of Bumrah. But other than that, I want the same side to play because they have done majorly in the match, and I feel like they can do better this match as well. So, any question, guys? Proneet, Vedant, any question?
Mm, you it's
No, Proneet.
Questions.
Okay. Well, that's our 3 11s. Vedant has one change. Proneet has gotten 3 changes, and I have no change at all. So that's quite interesting from all three of us because we have gotten three other 11s, different perspectives as well. Yeah. Till then, we'll talk about some predictions. Okay. To end the video, we're going to talk about predictions and if India are going to bounce back. What do you think, guys? We're going to start with Proneet here. Proneet, do you think
go
India will
ahead.
bounce back and win this test?
The winning of this test will depend upon if India chases. If India chases in this test match, India will win for sure. That is my prediction.
But give me a prediction, like irrespective of toss, just a blank prediction. It's
India,
going to be
India,
50
India
50.
will bounce back. India will
So
bounce back.
1-1. 1-1. Vedant, what do you
1-1.
think?
No,
1-1.
I back England to win it. I don't think India has it in them to win the match.
Yeah, okay. So 2-0. And to disagree with both of you, I'll say this is going to be a drawn match due to rain weather. So we're going to have
Three
three
different
different opinions.
opinions.
Let's I'm going to say it's going to be a drawn match where rain plays spoil sport or is going to be played out to a draw. So yeah, interesting 11. And till then, it's we are done here. Please do follow our Instagram. The link is in the description below. We post video updates. We go post reels. We post fun stuff. So please join the channel. Please join and follow our Instagram channel. Till then, it's bye bye from us. We're going to meet you again after day one of the second test match, pardon. And we're going to talk about how it played out. Till then, it's bye bye and good night from us.
Bye.